All right, so after using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for the past month or so, I think the one thing I am most impressed about is this right here, the DJI Mic 2. All you're gonna need is something like this, the DJI Mic 2, and you're able to get really clear and crisp audio transmitted back to the Pocket. Now, the one thing I'm glad that DJI did was they kept the form factor pretty much the same as the DJI Mic 1. Now, it's not exactly the same size. The Mic 2 actually doesn't fit in the Mic 1 carrying case. It is a little bit chunkier. The design as far as the exterior goes has a transparent look to it. The mic on top, a little bit different now. It crosses the entire top of the mic. And also the wind muff. The wind muff is now a 3.5 little jack that just sticks right into it. I actually like it a lot better than the push and twist one, a lot easier to use. And I know that one of the questions people had is, am I able to hook up a lav mic to the DJI Mic 2? And the answer is yes, you are able to do it just like you were able to do that with the Mic 1. Your audio hearing right now is coming from this microphone right here on my neck. How does the audio sound? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the one thing you will notice in the menu on the Pocket, and you scroll down, the one thing you will see down there is 32-bit float. Now, I'm no sound engineer, and 32-bit float has been around the industry as far as the sound industry for a while. It's just coming to a lot more light now because of these portable mics. Now, 32-bit float in general is just making a little bit more buzz now because also Rode came out with it on their most recent Wireless Pro microphones. And for those who aren't familiar with 32-bit float, I like to think of it as just dynamic range, audio dynamic range. Now, normally when you hear the word dynamic range, you kind of think of video dynamic range where you're talking about highlights as well as lowlights in video. And that kind of goes along with what we're talking about here in audio. Audio dynamic range means if you have something that's really, really loud in your video, then you might get some clipping in your audio if it's a little bit too loud. So the great thing about having a 32-bit float or a wider range of audio levels in your capture is that if you do have something that's a little bit too loud or a little bit too soft, you are able to make those adjustments in post because you are going to be recording in 32-bit float on this right here on the transmitter. Now, one misconception is that a lot of people think if I have 32-bit float, it's going to make my audio a lot better. That's not really how it works. 32-bit float will really help with the loudness of your audio, not necessarily the audio quality. If you have a better microphone, that is where you're gonna have better audio. The microphone coming out of the Mic 2 is actually pretty darn good. One of the big benefits too with the DJI mic system, this is also with the Mic 1, is that you have onboard storage. So this is recording a self-contained audio clip onto the transmitter as well as it's transmitting to the Pocket itself. Now, the main reason why you might want a backup recording like this is because if you're talking further away from the camera, and if I were to walk behind these trees or these buildings and the audio were to be interrupted or disconnected, you have that backup track that's recording directly here, and you're able to take that track, overlay it onto your video, and then you're not gonna have any interruptions on the audio because it's recording directly to the mic. And with that onboard storage, the great thing about these mics, just like the DJI Mic 1, you can use these as standalone audio recorders. Hook this up to your talent, hit record right here, and everything that they're speaking to is going to be recorded onto the memory on the transmitter. So you technically don't even need to have it connected via the transmitter and receiver. You can just use these as standalone recorders and then sync up the audio in post. And again, because you are recording directly to the transmitter, you are going to benefit from that 32-bit float. Now, when you pull down the menu system on the Pocket, as far as the audio goes, there actually is a bunch of different audio settings which are really good. I like to use audio and plus capture, which means when you hit record on the Pocket, it will automatically do the backup track. You'll see this red light right here, which means now it's also recording here. Just the redundancy is nice to have. Now, the one thing I didn't see initially when I was testing it out for the very first time a few weeks ago is that there is a secondary audio menu when you swipe from right to left on the Pocket. Just like you're able to go into pro modes with video, you are also able to switch it over to pro modes for audio. And in that menu system, you are able to adjust things like the gain of the mic as well as noise reduction, turn that on and off. But for me, the biggest thing I wanted to look at and change is when you're using a 2 mic setup and you wanted to shoot either in stereo or in mono. Now, right now, these two mics are actually set to mono, which means you're gonna get one single channel of audio that's pushed to the Pocket. So if you do have one speaker, you're still able to listen to both of the audios coming out of the two mics. If you have multiple speakers, it's just gonna still sound like one channel, one source of audio. So what I'm gonna do right now is, now that I am in mono and it's still technically gonna be recording one audio channel, one audio track, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one microphone, mic one, right next to this one right here, listening to some music. So I'll put that right there. Okay, so I have that microphone right there with my music, and I have this microphone right here, which I'm talking through. Separate audio sources, but if we are in mono right now, it should sound just like one channel. You should be able to hear both mics. All right, switch it over to stereo mode. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put this down next to my phone, and I am gonna be speaking away from the music. And now you can hear both tracks, however, they are gonna be separate. So if you are listening to this on headphones, you'll definitely be able to hear two separate tracks. You'll be able to hear one channel with my voice, and the other channel is gonna hear the audio, the music in the background.
Daddy, watch this, look, there's candy. There's candy in here. Wow, watch. There's nothing in your, nothing in your bowl.
I can do it too.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
There's nothing in your bowl.
I just did it.
Then do it. Okay.
Now, one thing to remember, that this isn't the full setup. This is the DJI Mic 2, but it's just a transmitter. This is the transmitter that comes with the Pocket 3, the Creator combo, but DJI, from what I know, is still supposed to be coming out with the full setup. The DJI Mic 2 transmitter, more likely is gonna have the receiver and stuff like that for you to use your Mic 2 with all of your other cameras. So I'm pretty excited about that whenever that drops, because the Mic 2 has been really, really good to use with the Pocket 3. And there it is. Just want to talk to you about one of my favorite features about this whole Creator combo, and that is the mic system. Of course, if you guys got value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. If you guys want to see a lot more Pocket videos, make sure you check out this video right over here, as well as one more right over there.